Where would sports gaming be without 2K Sports? If you think back, man, all the way back to, let's just say 2006, maybe, I think, was probably the first year that I picked up NBA 2K. Now, I know they were going on before that, the Dreamcast and all that, but 2K7, 2K6, 2K7 was probably my first experience playing a 2K sports game. Now, before then, all I knew was probably pretty much EA Sports, and you know, there were other basketball games out there. I think Sony might have had a game, you remember NBA, the Inside, and then there were all these like little novelty games like what's the name of that game? I don't know, man. Street basketball, all that kind of stuff was out there, but we're talking about simulation basketball. If you think back to probably 2K7, I think 2K9 was the coming of age for 2K Sports, the one with Kevin Garnett on the cover. I think that was the one that pretty much took the throne. I like 2K8's slowed down gameplay, because all the games that came out, it was 2007, but the series was 2K8. College Hoops 2K8, All Pro Football 2K8, and NBA 2K8 were all about simulation style. Don't believe me? Go back and play some of those games. They're still available. You could probably pick them up at a novelty game store for less than $5. But go back and play some of those games and see what I'm talking about. The gameplay is slowed down. It was more so about the gameplay than anything else, not presentation, features, and all that. And then NBA 2K9 came about, and that was the one that I remember the most for having the worst online ever. I mean, you would get into a game, you'd be in the lobby waiting with the little shoot around. That game actually made me purchase NBA Live 09. I got it for $5, but I bought that, and that's when I played. That, was my year of being introduced to like team up type or online team play, as you would say. But NBA 2K9 to me was the turning point in the series between Live and 2K. A lot of people loved NBA Live 10, the one with Dwight Howard on the cover. But let's just face it, from 2K9 up until the present time, 2K has been building a steady base. The fundamentals in this game are bar none. And then I thought about it and I was like, it's not just basketball. 2K just has the fundamentals down, period. You could play Top Spin, All Pro Football 2K8, anything that 2K does pertaining to sports, except for maybe hockey. And I've never seen a a FIFA game from them. So FIFA and hockey are EA's best two games probably when it comes to sports. But 2K has everything else on lock. I guarantee you, if 2K ever comes out with a football game again, because they used to have them, if they come out with a football game again, it will blow some of the things that EA Sports has been doing out of the water. But I also blame 2K because they could make a custom game and the user could customize it, to their liking. They could make college football teams, NFL teams, high school teams, sort of like EA Sports does with the team builder. And people would play it, to have something, a different alternative than what goes on with the frustrating man. And I always say this, there will be no perfect game. NBA 2K12 won't be a perfect game. Now I hope they address some of the things that plague the series, like hackers, the passing. It looks like they've addressed the passing. If you play the NBA 2K12 demo, one of the things I had a problem with last year was directional passing was terrible. Teammate AI, which is supposedly addressed, and the post game is probably the best it's ever been since maybe 2K7 or 2K8. But take a look at this footage I'm bringing you. It's taking you back all the way from 2K7, as you can see, all the way up until 2K12. And this is just to give you a retrospect and to thinking about how far these games have come and how they've been building each year to what we have is almost the pinnacle. The best sports game to me is they belong to 2K Sports. You have NFL 2K5 on the football side, and then NBA 2K11 on the basketball side. Now, time will tell once NBA 2K12 comes out if it surpasses NBA 2K11. But for right now, 2K11 has the crown as far as, I guess you could say, American sports. Basketball, football, baseball, that type of thing. Yeah, I know, come on, I know those people out there who say MLB The Show is the best simulation sports game, but we're talking about games that people actually play. Now, I know people play the show, and I've actually played the show. It is pretty fun, but we're talking about basketball and football, the primary American sports at this point in time. If you think about the innovation, the creativity, and just the willingness to compete against yourself, because right now 2K Sports does not have a competitor in the basketball realm. They're basically competing against what they did last year with NBA 2K11. They're going to see if they can outsell themselves. And that's a great accomplishment because Madden has been competing against itself, and we see a different result on that side of the table. Could you imagine if the NFL license was open and other companies were available to make NFL games? Do you know how much better a football game we would have right now? Now, don't get me wrong, Madden 12 is alright, but it would be 10 times better. I guarantee you. I guarantee that if there was competition around, Madden would be 10 times better than what it is right now. And 2K Sports would be one of the companies that pushes EA. Could you imagine a my player in football? Something like, you know, what we have now with NBA 2K, it would be unbelievable. But like I said, 2K has to shoulder some of that blame for not stepping up to the plate like a real company and putting it out for the people, because the people have asked you repeatedly for a football game and there's been no deliverance. So we'll see how it actually goes down. You know, everybody is in love with the game from the demo, but as soon as the full title hits and some exploits are found, then people have a different feeling. Even though I pretty much enjoyed NBA 2K11 for its entirety, except for the hackers, the 7'5" my players, and the teammate AI and my player, and the my player experience going stale. But they've upgraded this year, a lot of new improvements, and I'm looking forward to seeing what 2K12 has in store. And what can they do to build upon for NBA 2K13? I know we always make a lot of suggestions, a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of forum posts. There's still a lot that can be improved upon on this game, but this is pretty much the pinnacle if you think about it for 2K Sports, especially with basketball. This is the height of their accomplishments. They've included the old school players now, and some of the old school basketball that we weren't used to seeing on this generation of consoles has now creeped into NBA 2K12. So I look forward to playing with some of those old school legends, and even some of those that are not so old school, like Penny Hardaway and Shaq when they were on the Magic together. So looking forward to NBA 2K12, and hopefully the NBA can resolve its issues and they can have a season this year. Hopefully they learn from the NFL not to take it away, but to build upon it, get a relationship going between the players, the union, and work it out for the fans and for the better of of everyone involved, because everybody's losing money if you think about it. So get back to it, get back to the NBA, and looking forward to NBA 2K12.